liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.
You're tapped in, so let's get right to it. So by now, everyone has to realize that though we're going through this situation in society in the United States where gas is high, food is high, rent is high, mortgage is high, insurance is high, everything is high, including our utilities, right? We're going through it. However, President Trump, his cronies, his allies, and those in his administration are living high on the hog. Fat cats sitting back getting rich off of war and other people's misery, suffering, hardships. Now, if that is not a crooked or corrupt president and or administration, I don't know what is. So major allegations and reports indicate that individuals associated with the Trump administration and its allies have profited financially from the war in Iran. All right. However, the administration has simultaneously clashed with the broader defense sector over profit distributions. So they're basically saying the Trump administration, its cronies, allies, whatever, saying, where's our cut? That's how I see that. Where's our cut? Y'all making all this money, selling these weapons, these bullets, these shells, these rockets, these missiles, drones. Where's our cut? They're profiting off of war while we here in the United States are suffering as a result of it. Everything's high. Everything. The cost of living has went up. People's wages have not. Gas is up. The Trump administration, Trump himself, they don't have to worry about that. They are making tens and hundreds billions of dollars off of this conflict, this war, while we, the American citizen, the taxpayer, is footing the bill. Not only are we footing that bill, but we're also paying more for those things we need to live. You know, you got to have a mortgage, you got to have rent, you got to have gas, you need food, clothes, you got to have insurances, and you need utilities. We're paying, or we're footing the bill for this war while they're getting rich. Sums up, right? Okay. Now, the key issues and controversies surrounding this dynamic include insider trading allegations. Well, we knew that, you know. Come on, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out Trump's been manipulating the market since this war started, especially the oil market, the stock market. He's been manipulating it since this thing started. Quite possibly the first week of March. War started February 28th, first week of March. Trump was talking shit about this war and knowing that the war could affect the prices of oil, but was going in there and saying, hey, don't worry about this. This thing gonna be over in a few days, a week, manipulating the market. And while he's doing this, him, his cronies, his allies, his friends, his administration are betting in the market, they're putting money in the market, you know? And when things go up, either down, it depends on how they benefit or profit from it. But they are. They are. So these insider trader allegations, man, they're not far-fetched. They're not far-fetched. This is corruption, you know, at its highest point, especially with this administration. Anyway, there have been reports of suspiciously timed multi-million-dollar oil and defense trades made shortly before major presidential announcements, all right, on social media. Critics and financial analysts have alleged that insiders or individuals with access to non-public information utilized conflict for personal financial gain. Trump is doing this. His son Barron does it. All his children does it. You know, Jared Kushner does it. All of them do it. Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio. They're all getting rich. They're all getting filthy rich off this. And we're footing the bill while they pocket the money. This is some crazy work here, people. Anyway, defense investment scrutiny is reported that, or reports are emerging from the outlets like the AP News and Axios concerning attempts by brokers linked to defense officials to route significant investments into defense sector funds immediately prior to U.S.-led military campaigns. The Pentagon has publicly denied these specific financial claims, but of course they would. It's corruption. They're not going to admit to being corrupt. Of course not. And then I think that's a felony. It's insider trading stuff, Let's see what comes of this, But of course, Trump runs the DOJ. So if you're thinking about, or anyone is thinking about getting a decent investigation, a look-see into this, get out. You're mistaken. That's not going to happen, But the conflict of interest does exist. Critics have highlighted that several officials appointed to the Defense Department and related agencies previously held high-level positions or retained significant financial stakes in major military contracting firms that stand to benefit from wartime budgets. So, the military industrial complex, they're cleaning up. They are cleaning up. We're getting broker by the day. Administration pushed back on the defense contractors. Anyway, it goes in a contrasting move. President Trump signed an executive order banning major defense contractors from issuing shareholder dividends and stock buybacks until they accelerate weapons production and lower costs. This move, covered by Reuters, was enacted to redirect capital into manufacturing capacity rather than investor enrichment. But the Brennan Center for Justice has published reports analyzing these intersections of presidential actions and financial self-dealing. All right. So this is going down. And I'm going to tell you something you guys, you got to know this already. Me telling you can't be nothing new. President is getting rich, and he's not concerned one flying flick about being brought up on charges. He's not concerned with that, man. He runs the DOJ. And quiet as kept, I don't think Trump sees himself walking out of office at the end of this term. So he's not too much worried about any of you guys or any of the allegations. He doesn't care, To get us more context and not necessarily proof of what I'm saying, but just a little more insight, I have a clip. I'm going to run this clip for you guys, and you tell me what you think. All right. But again, I don't find this as no surprise. No surprise, and if you really look at it on the face of it, this is what Trump's doing. He's making moves to make money. And I'm pretty sure the majority of these moves where he's making all this vast sums of these tens of millions, hundreds of millions, even billions of dollars is illegal. The moves he's making are illegal. He just tried to give his buddies $1.776 billion for storming the state for storming, Capitol Hill, the country's capital. Criminals, but would deny reparations to blacks. But he wants to give criminals money. Come on. All right, let's bring this clip in here. This stuff is getting worse and worse by the day. And yeah, this is a courtesy of Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock. All right, let's get to it.
So listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to explain might just be one of the biggest corruption scandals in modern United States history. And it's happening right now under our noses. Trump insiders appear to be making millions of dollars by trading off of non-public information about the war in Iran. Let me break this down for you. Since Donald Trump started this illegal war, oil prices have spiked significantly.
As I mentioned, that's just one aspect of it. The other is the War Machine watch. I guarantee, I haven't watched this yet, but I have a feeling he's going to mention this.
But in an unpredictable conflict like this, one statement from the president can move prices sharply in either direction, up or down.
That's right.
And when prices move like that, Wall Street traders can make enormous amounts of money betting on where the price of oil will go based on the president's statement. Ever since the president launched this war, there have been massive, suspicious oil trades placed just minutes before the president makes major announcements.
Minutes, not days, not hours, not days, not weeks, minutes.
These trades just happen to be perfectly timed for some people to cash in for millions of dollars. Let me give you just one example. Roughly 15 minutes before President Trump posted on Truth Social that a ceasefire had been agreed to, a single trader made more than $580 million in oil futures trades. You heard.
If this doesn't piss us off as a collective, as a people, citizens in this country, look, then we're just sheep. We are just sheep. This should piss everybody off. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, MAGA, liberal. I don't care. If this doesn't piss you off, nothing will. He pretty much run roughshod over your rights, your constitutional rights, and everything else. And you guys, man, look, this should be enough to wake everybody up.
Me right, $580 million. Then there's this example from May 6th. Just 1 hour before Axios reported that Trump was nearing a deal with Iran to end the war, there was a huge spike in trading volume for oil contracts. And you know what? This was at 3:42 a.m.
In the
3:42 in the morning. Think about that. Hundreds of millions of dollars in trading out of the blue at 3 in the morning. Minutes before a major White House announcement that sent the price plummeting. These are not isolated incidents. We've seen this happen over and over again. And it's become abundantly clear that some people are making massive amounts of money, potentially trading off of insider information about this war. The question is, who is providing this information and who is profiting? I can't think of too many things more depraved than war profiteering. It is sickening. While our troops are in harm's way overseas, and while Americans back home struggle just to afford filling up their tanks, insiders appear to be cashing in on non-public information about the war. If that isn't corruption, I don't know what is. The moral and spiritual rot of this administration is stunning, and we see instances of it time and time again with this kind of corruption. And it comes straight
from the top. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, many of you will say what you want. You won't believe it or you won't care. That's your God. While at the same time, you and yours are struggling to keep the gas tank full, to have enough for groceries that'll feed you for a week. You see your utility bills going up expeditiously, right? Your insurance, your health care, all those things that matter to us are costing more. We're suffering. We're left holding the bag. So in other words, we're going to be the ones to pay these tabs and higher bills, higher prices, higher taxes. That's just the way it's going to work. All right. Unless there's a collective effort by the people to bring this to the forefront and have all those involved face the music. Otherwise, you think this is something. You think that Baron Trump making hundreds of millions of dollars, man, how, we don't know, but there's some corruption involved. You think that's something? There's something even bigger than that. Now, these pedos, man, they're hiding it. Look, man, they're doing this stuff out in the open in front of all our faces, before our eyes, and nothing is happening as a result of it. I tend to think that these guys have no fear of the law because the law does not apply to them. I'm pretty sure I'm right. That's their thought processes. The law does not apply to them. And as long as Trump is in office, he can pardon them. He can pardon them, man, before it's all said and done, So like I said, if this doesn't chap your hide, light a fire under you, then you're dead. You're dead. You're just here. No real significance. No real. Yeah. And this is what Trump thinks about us. We're dead. We're nothing. He said it. In the last week, he said some crazy stuff about the citizenry of this country. U.S. citizens, taxpayers. Yeah, I don't care. They'll be all right. All right now. Every dog has his day, yeah? Let's see if that's true. Let's see if Trump is made to account for all the corruption we see taking place in our government. Let's see if they'll face the music. Tell us what you think here at TAPS. Whatever those thoughts are, whether you agree with it or not, drop it in the comments. Let's have that conversation right there. I would love to have that conversation with all you MAGA people, all you supporters, you conservatives of the Trump and his administration and this war. This is a bullshit war. Y'all can't tell. This is some bullshit war, man. Let us know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments, people. This is TAP. You have been tapped in. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other, because no one else will, especially this government.
You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. You can murder a revolutionary, but you can't murder revolution. And you can murder a freedom fighter, but you can't murder freedom.